Hey, welcome everybody to the Dragon Cast. I'm G. You know me.
I'm Kaya.
I'm Malachi.
And I'm Toshiro.
Yeah, this is a staff cast. We talk about stuff. First off, we should talk about the TOP since the playoff tournament just started, right?
Yes. As of this recording, the first week of playoffs has officially commenced, or finished up. I mean, I don't want to reveal who won what, just so in case people haven't watched it yet, since the episodes probably won't be out yet. But it was a really good first week of playoffs.
Man, there were some crazy outcomes. Okay.
That there were a lot, especially like I didn't get to catch all of it. Once I came in, it seemed like every match was just a pendulum of back and forth, with some very impressive upset matchups.
That's what you did in a single elimination tournament, though. It's a bit more random, but you get some crazy performances, and then like teams are just out. They're gone. No more.
Yep.
Well, the teams are out, but then we will see some of the characters again with the what's it called?
The Kai matchups.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
So
So there's still stuff to do even for the teams that have been eliminated already.
Mm-hmm. And it's only about 3 more weeks of this, and then 3 weeks out is the final stream for the TOP, correct? Or am I missing
Yeah.
something?
Yep.
Yeah, nope, just because we have playoffs week 2, the semifinals, and then the finals and bronze match.
Honestly, feels like it just started not too long ago.
Oh,
Yep.
Well,
that's
that's
kind of
including the testing and everything too.
Right.
A short, like 2.5 month total event is perfect for the off season if you want to catch something a little smaller and crazier than the main
Exactly.
league.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Beyond that, for anyone who's not in the Discord and doesn't know what goes on with all the teams on a monthly or weekly basis, this last week and currently still ongoing is the ad drop. So teams have been selecting the roster, what forms their characters will start in, and what characters they're dropping and who they're picking up in their place. And there's already been 2 contention matches that you can watch on this channel for Pan and Early Pickle and see which teams got who.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun to do. Got those, and as G said, we got those out on the YouTube channel. And it's definitely fun to just check out what's going on in the Discord, so you can see what changes have been made on each of the teams.
I'm just gonna reveal something that's a pain to me. But Roshi didn't get picked up.
Yeah.
It was a shocker after his 44K season last. And,
No one wants the old
2021.
man. Gosh. Is it that hard to believe?
A little. There's worse characters in the league right now, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Like
There's
Early
a-
Pickle.
You shut up.
Or Pan.
Listen,
You know,
I'm shocked that
both
even
contested
any.
characters.
Listen, I'm shocked that I got contested for that. Okay, I thought I was getting away with that scot free only because the majority of my team wanted it.
Yeah. Congrats on, I guess, winning.
Okay,
But
I mean,
it's either her, Cyberman, or Chi Chi.
can
Cyberman actually did well for me. I
You
like
could-
Cyberman, but I got tired of Cyberman.
fair enough.
that is very, very fair. I mean,
Tasha
Yeah,
over
like-
here getting tired of his vegetables.
Man, I could actually. You know what? Can we give hybrids back? Give them pan and everything. I'll go ahead and pick my water map for my little vegetable there, and take my advantage.
Good luck with that.
good.
Yeah, can we just talk about how Jero's got in a pickup? I think every season, or was last season?
I don't
Last-
think he had one last season.
No.
Last
last
season he
season.
was.
I am. I mean, if they can make him work, that'd be amazing. But it
I-
is shocking that he is getting so. I don't know.
I will say in testing, he has been doing rather well. He's beaten Cooler a handful of times and everything like that, and has done
Tests are always
well for
so
himself.
weird, though. Every team seems to go into the main season so confident about their tests, and you get a lot of tests with the long off seasons we have here. I think over 1,000 tests every off season so far, which has been insane. Shout out to the testers for being insane.
Yes.
But
And insanely awesome.
yeah, I don't know how they grind through all that.
Hmm.
But they have fun with it. If anyone wants to see some of those tests live, they do like watch parties, so you can catch them as they're recording them in the Discord, in the voice chats.
Yep.
Even more reason to hop in here. Everything's run in here. Join the Discord. I gotta show that out when I can. But yeah, it's every team goes in very confident, and then there's always just the most random stuff because it's 16 weeks and then a couple extra for the playoffs.
Yeah, we're basically at 1,400 tests right now. Well, we're 3 away from it, so yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and I think this is almost to the point where we've matched what we did last year, if not exceeded it.
I would probably exceed.
I don't know if it was last year or the year before. One of the times we had 1,600 or something
That
like
was
that.
last year.
That was last year.
Because we had a short off season for the 2020 season. But yeah, but back to Giroux for a second. Like, as former coach of the Androids, like Giroux, you always want to have confidence in the old man, but he just can't perform on the field. And like he always has these great tests, and I really hope that GT gets him to work consistently. Like they're doing something that, at least when I was coach of Androids, we couldn't really have the Pataras to do for him. So I hope they get it to work.
I think he very clearly has a better moveset than Pan. It's just that charge rate and that eye beam. If they can find a way around it could solve him. But yeah, we'll see what happens with him. And to add some numbers to the testing, 1.3K this season, 1.8K at the end of last season. So we could hit that number still.
I mean, everyone's going to be testing all these pickups and FAs.
True, it might ramp up a bit.
We've got about 6 weeks or so until I believe we're looking at starting on May 14th, I believe is the day. Let me double check that real quick. Maybe. I don't remember. I think it is.
May 14th is the preseason start date. June 18th is our main season start date.
Yeah.
But yeah, beyond that, we also have, I think, coming up right after ad drop closes, right, is bidding. Specifically, we'll start with the FA bidding. So some of these characters, like Roshi, that didn't get picked up, can still get picked up for a couple of Zenny being dropped on them. And we're gonna see how that all shakes out. Teams have been talking about their FAs, but they have been very open about what they want to do. So
I hate that.
Yeah.
I still hate that.
It's unfortunate, but yeah.
I want one team to just screw everyone over.
Oh, listen, I've told everyone in voice chat I just want someone to betray someone's trust just for the season, just to spice it up.
Let me just, I get it, but I hate it. Because I love the surprise. I love the bidding wars. I don't care about feelings. I want to see bloodshed and anger and just all that fun stuff.
Let chaos reign.
Yes.
And
then we're civil after that.
Yeah. We do have one announcement for FAs. We may have announced it at the last Dragon Cast, but I honestly don't remember. But there is something new coming with the FAs this year. And that is, over the years, several people have asked that Tapion get modded to be able to transform into Hirudegarn. And for those who remember the modding stream, we could do it manually, like if a person was controlling him, but we could never get the AI to do it. And shortly after that stream, working with the Tenkaichi modding community, we cracked how to get the AI to recognize transformations. And so we got Super Boo fixed, and then we also have decided to give that ability to Tapion, so that their Hirudegarn is now a legal character in the league. He's been nerfed a little. His Sweep the Leg B2 got about just under a 10% damage nerf. But yeah, so that's going to be a first for the upcoming season.
Also, before anyone asks, this does not change anything about master lists or his availability yet. So
Nope.
don't ask if that means Kaiju can pick up all of a
We're
sudden.
we're taking it one step at a time. We're just
Yeah,
he's
no,
still a
just-
free agent. We haven't opened it up to Cinema or Kaiju yet. So.
Yeah, just figured I'd throw that out before we get asked.
Yeah, no, there are plenty of master list questions we get every year. This is one that at the earliest would be for next year and probably even later.
We have not spoken about opening up FA Lock characters. It's
Yeah,
not high on anyone's list.
Yeah, at first we were just happy that it could happen, and
Yes.
that we're going from there, and we'll figure out the next
Yeah,
step.
just consider it an added fun thing that everyone gets to see, hopefully, this coming season with whoever picks up Tapion. Because they're going to get picked up, let's be honest. They're a strong FA. No one's going to just say, I don't like Tapion.
He's not a top tier character.
Looks over at RW and the help that he did, even though he was only a closer.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think. Yeah,
We
and then
the FAs for, I think, goes for a week, and then it's map and song selections after that. And then we're done with it entirely.
Yeah, it's
And then
only
get a-
and
they
only
still should be up by the time this is either out or soon.
Yeah, this will either be out the day recording or the day after, which is when FAs will functionally start. So yeah, expect that stuff to all get rolling. If you want to see ahead of time what FAs your team, your favorite teams pick, join the Discord. You gotta keep up with all this stuff. But yeah, beyond that, you guys are ready to answer some questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
first one comes from Snuffy Sam. Any surprising drops or pickups this season?
Early Piccolo.
No, there was one I'm trying to remember.
Gotta look real quick.
Yeah.
Well,
think-
if we-
Least shocking was Nom for Videl. That was like least shocking. I expected it from a mile away, and I'm glad it happened.
I mean, I expected it, but to be completely honest, I still think Nam's a better character.
Well, when he gets that Budokai ring or the Tenkaichi Bowl ring, he can say that. But until then, Videl is supreme with her loops.
Yeah, and I think some of it's also like on this current difficulty, Videl, like both of them have seemed to struggle with consistency, but Videl in this last season just seems to have been better than Nom. So at least for me, that's not too surprising, and it's just something that is not too crazy.
No, I don't think it's the craziest thing in the world. I just think Nam has a higher ceiling by a fair amount.
That's fair.
You know what? I take back what I said earlier. Namek for Tambourine for early Piccolo. That was probably the most shocking.
Tambourine.
Yeah. Oh well, I do agree with that only because I know Tambourine is usually good, but I think Oasis just doesn't like Tambourine.
To be
But
fair, it's a safe drop.
It's a
it
safe
is.
drop, so I
Yes.
get that part. Like, I'm not saying it's.
Mm.
It's just a little shocking because we've all seen what Tambourine can do.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we've seen what
Man,
Earl
he was basically a 44k character last season, so it is kind of shocking. Also, I will like to point out, in defense to Nam, he had a higher average in the main season than Videl. So.
Well, Videl only had half a season.
Oh, did she? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
we
know.
because I was on Royals last season. We started off with Deborah, and Videl came in with Deborah. Wouldn't
That's
work.
fair. Okay.
Don't
let's
don't,
leave
don't
it
try to
at
come
playoffs.
for Vidal
So, yeah.
because Kyle will fight you on that. Oh,
She still averaged less than Nam's main season in the playoffs. 37 to 38. There we go.
Yeah, well, she
Yep.
still went to the bowl.
This true.
True.
I'm just not gonna give up on Nam.
So one thing that it makes sense in context because this happened for a loan. But I was still kind of surprised that King Vegeta didn't get completely dropped by Kaiju, but maybe next season since they, Cinema dropped Turles for Zangaya, which is not too surprising. Turles really struggled last season, and Zangaya is at least seeming to be consistent. She's just consistently weak.
well,
Well, you're gonna get yelled at for that one.
Well-
Fair, but like she's also looked a lot better in testing this off season.
mhm.
But then you have Kaiju who dropped Raditz for Turles.
Which it makes sense because he's a safe drop.
He's a safe
Yeah.
drop as well. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Zangaya is worth it. I think her ceiling's low.
Well, the thing is that I'm shocked that they're just now picking her up. I guess they just wanted to give Turles more of a chance. Honestly, I didn't know what was going to go on with Cinema because I heard multiple things where at one point I think they were considering Gogeta being dropped, and I'm like, I was hoping for that, but that never happened.
I just want to.
But back to Zangaya. No, Zangaya last season, I'm shocked that they didn't pick her up because from what I heard, I think she had like a 50k average on a certain build that they had her, and they didn't pick her up. They chose to go with keep Turles for a bit.
Well, the last season they picked up Janemba, so they dropped Janemba in 2020 in favor of Zangaya, I think, because they could not get Janemba to be consistent, because he would just swing hard back and forth between like doing really well and just being garbage.
Yeah.
And they could at least get Zangaya consistent, and then they swapped the two because they thought, okay, we've got Janemba working, and it was a toss-up between Zangaya and Turles, and then the last season happened where Turles was just not great, and so they knew they were picking up Zangaya, they weren't sure who, because Cinema's got kind of the same problem that some other teams have, where they've got really high stat characters who just can't make use of their kit. And that was some of their struggle, like with Gogeta, where his kit is fantastic, but he just can't do anything with it for whatever reason.
I'll be completely open here. I don't watch the tests. I don't know how their testing is going. I don't fully trust the off-season testing because every team comes in saying these are perfect. They're all averaging above 45k. And then that doesn't happen because your tests are going to be a little skewed depending on how you set them up.
Yeah.
And you're going to keep testing whatever shows the high numbers, but then the actual situation of a main league season, it doesn't match that up. At least that's what I think is going on.
Yeah.
I understand the Turles drop. He was atrocious last season. I just think he's functionally got a much higher ceiling than the guy, especially with the 8 form in
Yeah,
there. So.
But it comes down to, do you want, for right now,
Mhm.
do you want, especially with having Broly and that kind of stuff, you're already going to have enough stuff that you got to work out. Yeah, it may as well go for what you think is consistent.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to say they made the wrong choice.
Yeah, so I get it. I agree. I think Turles overall is a better character.
Yeah.
But, just because he's a good character, he's not doing anything. doesn't really help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get it. I totally get the Zingaya pickup. It makes sense.
Yeah. Beyond that, was there any? I'm surprised Super Perfect Cell. I had no idea they were even testing him seriously. Super Perfect Cell.
Yeah.
Actually
Yeah.
doing it. Top
That's
form.
a thing.
He's beyond perfect.
Yep.
Listen, they were doing a whole bunch of different forms for Cell. They even did imperfect, a lot of semi-perfect. And funny enough, I think on a Ultra Divine Water build, he was going pretty good, like going pretty crazy and everything on that
Yeah,
build.
I heard about the semi-perfect and imperfect earlier in the season, in the off-season. I knew that the semi-perfect was getting serious looks, but I just didn't keep up, and I didn't realize super perfect was showcasing so well for them. So it's a fun thing to see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it helped because they needed someone who is a little bit more solid on the melee combos, in addition to 16, and Super Perfect is probably the better choice. Like, I don't keep up with what their internal conversation is, but at least it seems to me like if you needed a second meleeer more than another B2 character, Super Perfect would be that choice, because if you take Semi-Perfect, you lose Eternal Life, and they've really been rocking Eternal Life on Super 17. So, yeah, if you're gonna switch, if you're gonna switch up Perfect Cell, like really the main build he's done good on is Eternal Life, and if he can't have Eternal Life, well, Super Perfect, and you can't get other stuff to work, Super Perfect's probably your best bet.
Mhm.
So,
One last note. Cold picked Final Form Cooler. I have no idea if he's a better character or not. I just think he looks cool and he's a fun character. So
I know
happy.
he counters my team.
Well, he has better
what's my
stats, so
my
I'm
better
happy.
characters?
I don't know. He's a fun form. We haven't seen him in a little while.
Oh yeah. I thought they were going to allow him to transform into it, because I think they tried that last season for at
Yeah,
least a little bit.
he's been starting in base form for at least 2 seasons now, I think.
He was doing well, at least in 2020. I forgot what it was last year.
Yeah, but I mean, I think some of it is just it simplifies things for them, and then they don't need to necessarily have a Broly's ring.
They might still need it because
Bro.
it's Final Form Frieza, not 100%, and
Yeah.
base Zarbon instead of big Zarbon.
That's true, and it could be like because they've been putting the limiter on Cooler, and they may have said we need the limiter more on somebody else.
Only
I'm
person
going
I
to
could probably
assume-
see that is Frieza,
Yeah,
because Frieza on KSA or +1. Yeah, no.
I think the bigger issue isn't the KSA side. It's just the charge rate of those two forms, Final and 100%, are so vastly different that if you don't have a Key Plus build on Final Form Frieza and he transforms, you're kind of screwed.
that's a fair point. But yeah, and then,
Anyway,
I think that's it.
next question, if I can find it, there is. Who were you from Armed Raws? Who were you rooting for to win the contention matches? So to add some context, Pan was being contested by Rugrats and by Hybrids. And then early Piccolo was being contested by Budokai and Namek. And do we want to reveal who won? It's out there. Yeah, we can
Yeah,
reveal
it's
who
out
won.
there.
yeah,
In a couple days.
both of them
Right.
have been out there for at least 24 hours.
I've
Yeah.
already said the pan one like 20 minutes ago in this. So
I have short-term memory loss. So yeah, Pan, Rugrats won the Pan contention match. And-
quotation marks won.
And Namek won early Piccolo in their contention match. So that's how those panned out.
You and your pun, shut up. I'm over it.
Would you guys have a preference? I know I have a preference, but not for any preference to the teams.
To be fair, I would say for my contention match, I was indifferent. Just in general.
Okay. This is the
I
guy
even,
speaking.
That's gonna make hybrids really
I'm
happy
so
to hear.
listen. I'm so serious. I already told enemy, so he already know. I got outvoted and everything. I
did it
didn't.
for
I
the
didn't particularly
lows.
mind. I didn't mind if we kept Cyberman or if we kept Pan or it went for Kid Goku. Overall, I just wanted someone new at first, so like it is to my benefit and
Yeah, I mean,
everything,
Kid Goku
and
never
my
got
team
dropped,
wanted it.
so.
So I support whatever my team wants. Cool.
Alright.
As far as EP, I would say it's probably better on Namek, only because I just seen how EP can do against my team when I did some 4v4 tests against Good Guy. That's
Yeah.
it.
Like, I think it would have made for a much more interesting season if Kid Gohan got dropped from hybrids because they got banned, and if Budokai had gotten early Piccolo. Because Kid Goku can go to a lot of different places.
Mhm.
And it would have been fascinating to see if Kaiju decided to pick up Kid Goku in place of one of their other characters. And I just like seeing, like, I just like to see the change in teams, kind of like Utosh, where it, you know, and because we've had some of the team say this, like Ryan, Coach of Muscle, has said, like, having Raccoon on the team has just been invigorating and refreshing. It has been a good change for the team, even if, like, Raccoon is not necessarily the most compelling character in the league. Like, sometimes just having a different weak link to work with and having that new character to change things up, it breathes a lot of life back into things.
Mhm.
Yeah, instead of bashing your head against a concrete wall, you can bash your head against a brick wall.
Exactly.
Completely different. A new feeling.
Great analogy. You're doing great.
But no, I agree with Now. Like, my only preference was to see chaos and more options, basically. And Budokai and hybrids winning would cause more movement. And even in if they kept the characters for another season, it opens up more trades and loans that way. So
Kyle,
I would have enjoyed that, but yeah.
Kyle, how would you have felt if Kid Gohan ended up getting contested? Because apparently my team wanted nothing to do with Kid Gohan, to be honest. They would rather keep Cyberman over pick up Kid Gohan. Yes, I put in a vote. It was Pan, Kid Goku, and then it was like keep Cyberman or any what is it? Get Kid Gohan. Everyone was like, yeah, no, Cyberman. So it wouldn't have happened. But apparently ED was hoping that Kid Gohan got dropped. So
That's still, personally, let me preface this first before I say my opinion. I have not watched tests. I only remember, from the long life of the league, how characters do and that kind of stuff. That said, I still don't know who the hell ED would drop that would make sense.
Krillin
Kid
is the
Gohan.
only, since
No.
Yamcha's not available right now, Krillin would be the only option. He hasn't averaged 40k. He's gotten close, but he hasn't averaged it.
I still think Krillin has a lot more potential than Kid Gohan, and then dropping Krillin, he's going to get picked up by one of the other teams that can.
Oh, absolutely.
it's funny you say that.
Budokai probably would have loved him.
It's funny you say that because the kit-wise, Kid Gohan is actually somewhat better
Yeah,
Kinda.
he has a good kit, but I remember
performance-wise. Yeah.
I remember Melee Monster Krillin.
Yeah.
True. All I'll say about that is it could be the same thing with ED's had one of the most consistent rosters, as in that it haven't changed since their inception, or since Mid Vegeta got added.
Oh, they have changed with the loans at least a little bit.
Yeah, with the loans. But their core roster hasn't moved since Super Saiyans got split up.
Right.
So I can see them wanting to shake it up a little.
It's just hard with characters that are going to get nabbed. Like,
Yeah. But hey, that's what makes it fun when you risk it all. And look, if Krillin got drops and someone like Budokai or Rez tries to go for him, and that causes a whole domino, and I'm up for it, man.
it'd be great.
Anyway, on to the next question. From the Destroyer, what are your favorite renames for B2 so far?
Bloody Stream.
Like,
Isn't that a
I know
JoJo
you said
reference?
that's a JoJo reference.
It's a
but I
JoJo
don't-
reference.
I
It's
don't
the
get
second. It's the second OP.
it. Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know the OP names at all.
Oh my god, it's such a good song.
I like the second OP. I just never remembered the names.
Well,
I'm bad with names.
now you
Oh,
got
man. Yeah, okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Joseph Best Boy.
I did not notice Budokai just. I didn't know that. Oh, they don't have early piccolo. Never mind. I'm looking through the base roster changes, and I was like, wait, are they trying to spell Makanko Sapo like the Japanese name for Special Beam Cannon? And no, it's Makaka
No.
Patonimus or
Macacopotamus was one
Yeah,
of the
that.
TFS jokes about it.
Mhm.
I think that was the one that like Goku did in the Cell Saga.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Um,
they ended up doing renaming Yamcha's Kamehameha to Wolfang Fist Beam.
Yes. ED did that. No, not ED. Budokai.
Yep.
I
I know
think
that was fun.
my favorite is probably either Janemba's his child Makako, whatever, the mouth beam, the Hell Gate, or not sure. I'm still looking.
Or nothing.
Or
I mean,
no,
I mean,
so
I
that
mean,
one.
I'm satisfied with my team's illegal tag or whatever. So
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
that's
that
a fun
there's a mix of teams either changing a name to be something hilarious or fixing a really boring name to be something actually interesting.
Mhm.
And I like that. But then there's androids, and if somebody can enlighten me as to what happened here, I think it's funny because they changed Super 17's Shocking Death Ball Ultimate to Electric Hellsphere, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but those are the same words, just
Well-
using different words.
that
think-
and he says that in the actual game. He doesn't say Shocking
Oh,
Death
he
Ball.
says, okay, that makes a lot more sense. I thought they were making a joke.
Yeah. So yeah. Like I'm looking at the wiki right now. The attack is named Shocking Death Ball in the Budokai Tenkaichi series. Yet Super 17 calls out Electric Hell Spear when he uses it.
I don't know why the developers decided to give it the same name with different words, but I guess they fixed it.
But it's
Well, it may
but
have
it's
been a
like
translation.
that, and it's also like Late Piccolo is what Light Grenade, but he says, is it Fury Bullet or Cherry Bullet?
Fury.
Fury. Okay.
Regardless of how much Door wants to claim Cherry, it's Fury.
Yeah, I was sad about one with GT not renaming anything, because they could have renamed babies. I think in the game it's Big Bang Attack, but they could have renamed. But it's actually Vegeta's Final Flash.
Right, similar situation where he does the wrong
Yeah.
move, but he calls it something else.
Yep. The other one I really like is Earth Defenders renamed Dodon Ray to Multivariable Calculus.
Wait, what? Oh,
They're playing
Can-
off the geometry mean.
The only issue with
Yeah.
that is it's such a long name, it's gonna get old like the second week, I think. That's my only fear with a long name like that.
Well, they can. If he misses, they can just say he failed calc.
There you go.
Exactly. Another good one we haven't really talked about is Sword Trunks' Lightning Sword Slash
yeah. I was
to
about to say.
clever.
Tapion's Gift.
Yeah, that one's really clever. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably give my nod to. It's simple, but I like the Wolf Fang Fist beat. I think it's just stupid to have two B2s with basically the same name. And I think it fits Yamcha.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, let's move on to the next question from Snuffy Sam again. Apul is the only legal to test character to get 0 tests prior to base roster change. Should he have been tested by a team?
I mean,
No.
no.
Really? Kui is just a better character outright, and that's really the only character I could see a team thinking to drop him for. Cold's not gonna pick up a pool. They have a straight up better roster all around.
Freaking X-Men and Spoopy, they've been testing Goldo, so anything was possible. I'm telling they literally put in maybe about like at least 15 tests with Goldo.
To be fair,
Something like that.
Goldo in his event appearances with no builds basically has been surprisingly effective and almost beat Raccoon outright before he ringed himself out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get on that. Like the teams that could pick him up have better options, so it's not surprising. And no, I mean maybe Derp could have tested him over a pool.
But they've done that.
Or
so
Kui.
much.
Over Kui.
Yeah,
over
over
Kui.
Kui.
The thing is though, even if Kui isn't doing that great, I would still pick him over a pool just to have on my roster. And if I care that much, I'll just pick a pool up as an FA.
Yeah.
For cheap, because he's gonna be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kui's, at least his base damage and stats are more akin to like Saiyan Saga characters. So you're not like his ceiling, his floor is not going to be as long.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
when he fails, at least he'll like 1v2 isn't going to do 5k. He'll do like 7.
Yeah, like, and all this being said, like some of this is also like a pool has been surprisingly effective during the TOP, and so it's like it's one of those things, kind of like Giro, where you see these flashes of greatness, but they're just that, flashes.
I'd actually compare Kui more to Jiro. Their base stats are good enough. It's just they don't perform.
But Jiro's more just because his mechanics are a little
Yeah, his
Kui's
is
just a
weird. Yeah.
Kui is just more a regular character. Jiro, at least you can look at the
Mhm.
weird grab, that doesn't really go well with his B2,
And,
and
the horrible passive charge.
right. So like that one, that's a little hard of a comparison. So
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, I think the view is here. No, Pool's just not a good character, unfortunately. He's a good cheap FA for anyone who wants to pick him up in the coming week, though.
yeah, but I don't think he needed testing.
All right. The last several questions actually all come from Enemy Controller. His first question: what teams look the best currently in testing this offseason? If we've been watching them all, which I'll be completely honest, I very rarely watch off-season testing. It's
Yeah,
too much else to look at.
Yeah, I haven't looked at enough tests from every team to make an opinion one way or the other.
Yeah. I've seen some of the Jiren testing for obvious reasons. I kind of wanted to see how Senpai performs with the new character that we put in. I think he looks fun, and I've seen a couple of tests, very rarely, but it has happened, where he loops with his ball B2, and it is just terrifying.
Oh, I just have these terrible flashbacks to when I was doing the testing with Jiren, and he had a 3-bar passive charge,
Yeah.
and he could literally melt like high tier characters like 17, Cell, from full to 0 in less than 30 seconds, or definitely less than a minute, but like maybe even less than 30 seconds of actual time on field that characters can do things, because it's a fairly long animation, and it's just like, it's terrifying and it's disgusting that he didn't even really need to charge. It's just melee, push him back, do the B2 and then go back into the melee combo and just passively charge with the melee charge into another B2 and do those loops. And it was so disgusting.
It's he's absolutely insane. So that's really the only thing that pops in my head.
Yeah. I've looked at several of the tests across teams, like kind of like y'all are saying, like not enough to be like, um, you know, to have a fully informed opinion. But I do think we will be seeing some of the teams that were historically weak or have had problems in the past. Um, I do think many of them are looking better than they have. So I don't. So I'm thinking like Cinema, Sentai, Derp. You know, they're looking better than I remember them looking at this point, like last off season.
I really hope Cinema finds some stable footing, because I feel like this has been the case last offseason as well, where it looked like they'd be great coming into the season, and then they had really good moments, but a lot of their matches came close and just weren't consistent enough.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think
They can
Frieza
just-
died on them halfway.
Here's the thing though. I don't know if he would have stayed bad. Because his average was still really high when they put him down, so I don't know if it was just like a couple weeks. I don't remember everything about the details of his matches, mind you, so maybe
I
I'm
just
out.
love the way you said put him down, like they took him behind the shed, old Yeller style.
Well, to be fair,
Like,
if they
I'm
could, they
I'm
would.
sorry, Frieza. Just you know, this isn't working out. Bang.
I mean, they kind of did. I mean, once they FA benched him, there was a lot of resistance to putting him back in.
Yeah, there was.
And,
but-
and
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm curious about how much that was just a couple of weird weeks. Because again, as much as we look at the main seasons to see if a character's good or not, it really only is 15 weeks of matches.
yeah.
Yeah, it
15
sounds like
matches
a lot,
total.
but it's not.
No, the off-season testing is probably a little bit more accurate overall, but the main season is the only stuff that counts. So I'm hoping they just get that consistency in the main season. Because Cinema, if they do, I think could be a North Kai team,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
especially with this season's roster, bringing in Broly. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they have the roster and the team that should be a top tier
Mhm.
team. It's just they just got to get the pieces all put together right.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe with their Broly acquisition, it could be the same as Royal's Baby acquisition, where they just shoot up into championship contention.
We all know it was Fidel that got them.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe help.
Clearly, but she did have some clutch moments in the finals.
She
Oh yeah.
That she did.
clashes for days.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Any other teams?
I
people
have
are looking at?
4 teams in mind.
Mhm.
Of course, including mine because it's biased. But like the first 3 is androids, hybrids, and what was the cold? Those 3 right there. Androids with getting Super 17 working fairly well. Super Perfect Cell, which I just remember, of course, being on Androids, and it's always Perfect Cell. We never really went with Super Perfect back then, but Super Perfect has been looking really good for them, and they even got 19. Well, I would say for the last like maybe about like 5 to 10 tests, if I recall, and they can correct me if I'm wrong. He has been looking decent. Probably still will get FA bench, but he's been decent for them. Cold, me and Cole, we had the same idea with, but for them it was for Frieza with the ult spam and everything, and Cooler just being very oppressive in general, and of course you still have Zarbon in general. So, in hybrids, I think they even got Team Gohan looking really well. And Future Gohan, I think they swapped his build, and he's like on a tank ult spam build or something like that. He's like on defense 2, KSA, and like some other charge Pataras and everything like that. So
I really want to see Future work. And he's
So,
just, I really like his kid.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I just like the character.
I was really hoping that they could have gotten what is it, Sword Trunks and Super Saiyan, working because I actually like that form a lot better than base. But I think they have him like on a super builder and that's working just out fine. But then of course, save the best for last. My team, yeah. Yes. Nah, for my team it's more so I got ult spam Trunks. Thank you, Malachi. You helped me awaken that monster in Super Saiyan form. So I
Yeah, we
appreciate
got
you
some
on that.
questions about that too.
Shut up.
Ultimate +1.
I already talked to the guy that was responsible and I blame him. So yeah, Super Saiyan Trunks. I got Goten, who apparently likes to spam his bros coming out on an attack +2 build. Who would have thought on Piccolo AI? Who would have thought? Got Aurelia on tank, and I got fusions working even better, where they've
Yeah,
done
and,
like a 120k plus, like multiple times. So
and you got your championship ringer with Pan in there now, so clearly.
Josh, I'm working setting her aside. I got Cell Junior. We got Cell Junior kind of working. We're working on him, but he's doing better. So those are like the top 4 teams that I've seen outside of my bias. Those are the top 4 teams that I've been keeping an eye on, and Cinema's been up there too. So yeah.
Cinema just needs that stability. That's it.
Oh.
They have those moments of just insane damage.
And freaking
Just
Royals.
do that.
And Royals with their freaking Deborah actually doing well.
Oh my god. If
Oh, wait, hold on. That means nothing because this is what Deborah does.
I know, but he's been oppressive.
Here's the thing though, before the 2020 season in the old league, he was damn good.
No.
What do you mean no?
He had it's the same thing that he always does. He'll have amazing moments where he'll go elite, and then he'll have other matches where he does 10k. He has always been a pendulum type character. Sometimes he's a little more consistent than others, but this is exactly what happened last season, where he looked amazing in the off season with the testing, and then he just doesn't do jack, and that's why Videl had to come in and pick up the slack. So I'm hoping that Deborah is fixed, but he's done this too many times for me to be confident.
You know what's a funny bit of like thematic irony almost is Deborah's like the demon king or whatever, the devil
Right.
of the Dragon Ball Z, and I think Videl's name is supposed to be an anagram for devil.
Yes,
So I should
because
have
Mr.
say
Satan.
that. So the demon king got replaced by the devil because of his failures.
Yeah.
Oh. Didn't know that.
Pretty much.
Interesting.
Anyway, we should move on to the next question from
Yeah.
there. How did you guys like the video, the snuffing that Freeze the Soldier? So, first of all, farewell to the Sweet Prince.
I did not watch the video yet, so I have no opinion on it.
I would. I don't know if I want to spoil it. People should come to the Discord and watch it. Maybe we should promote it somewhere. It's really good.
Yes, come
Look
to
out-
Discord,
Oh, what?
watch it, and enjoy the fact that YouTube, just to, without spoiling the video too much,
The copyright system sucks. Let's just put it.
yeah, the YouTube's copyright system failed in a hilarious way.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about it. Otherwise, come to the Discord and look at the posts. I
Do you
believe it's in
guys
the Tournament of
wanna-
Power announcements.
Do you guys want to? I can put it in a community post.
Yeah, either do that or if you can, ask Snuffy for permission to put it on Twitter. That shouldn't
There we go.
get any copyright.
All right, yeah. So look out for those in the future, but for now, come to the Discord and everything and watch it there.
I loved it. It got me teared. It was a tearjerker. Okay, that's all I'll say. All right, his next question.
He added
Not
a few,
sure.
by the way.
Yeah, he's been adding some as we've been talking, so this is extending as we go. I'm not sure how much you can give info on this, but what we are done.
I think he's asking what were some interesting trades that didn't go through.
What were some?
Oh.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
What were the failed ones this season? Were there any failed ones?
I never made it public, but it was more so trying to work with androids and GT to get GT Goku back for just one season. I was trying to do Cell Junior Super 17 and GT Goku because Super 17 and Cell Juniors average last season were very similar at 35K. So that's available.
I think I heard talk about Muscle and ED doing a.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I also heard of Androids trying to go in a three-way. I think with Muscle and ED as well.
Yeah.
I think 16 for like mid Vegeta for Android 13 or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, something along those lines. I would really like to see that three-way. I think that's.
Oh yeah.
That would have been amazing.
I just want, because mid Vegeta and 16 have not been on another team in forever, or ever since
16.
Oh.
Yeah, 16's never been on a different team. Even in old league, he was only ever a fit on the Android's master list.
Mm-hmm. Now there is another one that I really, for me Kai wise, I would hate it, but if I was just a watcher, I would love it. Hybrids, ED, and Muscle. They were trying to do a three-way as well. Yeah, Hybrids was going to give either Future Gohan or Teen Gohan. I know they asked for one of those two. Muscle would have gotten Mid Vegeta, and in return, Muscle would have given Trunks, adult Trunks, over to
I
Hybrids.
like that too. I think I like anything that involves ED and Muscle swapping out those two characters.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of just want to see that happen, moving Vegeta around. Because ED always feels too stable, even I know they've been doing that in Goku swap, but it's Yamcha. Who gives a shit about Yamcha? Let's move someone who means something.
Damn.
I'm being mean to Yamcha, I know. But who isn't?
That doesn't mean you don't need to do that. I think the other one I would kind of, I don't know how. I know Bujins. I know he tried doing it jokingly at the same time as seriously trying to trade with RW and everything, or not trade. No, I know that was another one.
Get Majin
So,
back for somebody else.
I think it was, of course, it had to be. I think Majin Buu, because I think Majin Buu is the only one that's on RW's list,
Yeah.
or something like that. So I don't know, but I don't think RW ever responded after he put that up. So, was there any other ones?
Not that I remember. There wasn't an insane amount, and a lot of them actually went through.
Oh, I think Cold Derp tried one. Oh, and Sentai. There was some other ones in there, but yeah.
That one's probably hard to make work. Anyway, on to the next question. Have you guys ever thought of revamping the FA base cost system so if a South Kai team doesn't want a certain FA, they don't just become unusable for the season?
It hasn't been an issue, so no.
I don't think I fully understand the question, actually.
I think it's because there's some high-costed FAs. If for whatever reason none of the South Kai teams that have enough sending to grab him want to grab him, there would be the potential of him being unselectable. So let's say all the teams that have 25 more Zenny don't want the 25 point characters.
Yeah, we considered this when we made the adjustments to the costs, and we make sure that the low end has a larger buffer than the high end. Specifically, so that's a very unlikely occurrence.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever happened.
Yeah, if we have almost, we need basically every team to want the cheapest characters for that to be a problem. And if that's happening, we have to reevaluate something in the system and why everyone's going for the cheapest characters and ignoring the most powerful.
Mhm.
Yeah, but the other side of it is we also intentionally did that to where if for whatever reason teams just decided, hey, we don't want adult Gohan, that we don't want adult Gohan going on who's North Kai this year? I don't.
Bujins, ED,
Yeah.
Muscle.
Yeah,
And,
we don't want the top
RW.
teams in the league picking up the best characters for almost nothing because no one can test them on it.
I'd rather adult Gohan not be on a team than an East or North Kai team picking him up.
Yeah.
Remember, the FA system is first and foremost a system for balancing the league. That's why it was introduced, and that's what we're trying to do without keeping it in this way. So
Yeah, like, and with the revamped Zenny that we introduced last year, like, teams can get a lot more Zenny. FA costs are a little more spread out for that very reason. And yeah, like we saw how problematic it could be. You know, for teams thinking, like, for people thinking a team is overpowered when they get a good FA and they get a decent, and they're already a strong team. Like, there's a reason why these FAs cost a lot.
So the answer is no.
Yeah.
there's bigger issues if that situation actually occurs. So, all right, next question: are there any TOP changes in terms of dollar costs that you guys are looking at in the future for the main? I think what
Not
was-
yet.
You would have
because
to
the
remind me of.
season's still going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we have said in the past, we will at some point evaluate them to bring into the main league. We don't promise to bring in everything. We at least have promised to look at them and say, could we bring the, is this something that is viable without necessarily changing how the main league, without disrupting the meta too much, more than we already have by introducing new characters and new Pataras.
Yeah, we don't want to break the meta. We want it to be a viable but not primary option whenever we do a change. We don't want every team to be picking the Patara.
Yeah.
I know there's a couple that are interesting, but we, like, as a staff, have not spoken about it, and it probably won't be something that will be introduced in this season. Any TOP changes will be looked at probably the season after.
Yeah, because we like to have a whole season just to make sure how everything went down. Because TOP does not have that many weeks for us to really look down.
It's 8
Analyze.
weeks.
Yeah. And,
Right.
and just to make it clear, any change we did bring in would be for 2023. It would not be for 6 weeks out from now.
Oh, way too little time.
Yeah, like we have made it a point to make sure that any change we bring into the league, like, unless it's just something that we missed, like, we want to have it announced and ready for everybody to have on hand within the first couple, ideally within the first month, if not the first couple weeks after the bowl. So that way you have the full off season to adjust. You are not taken by surprise. Like, we don't want to tell you, like, a team, oh hey, by the way, that build you're testing on this character you could pick up is now illegal because it was too OP a week before ad drop. Like, we want them to know about it as soon as possible.
All right. Anyone else have any final comments on that question?
Nope.
Not looking forward to going back into the testing dungeon for that one.
It's a little off at least, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, this should be the final question. How are you feeling about the TOP? Do you guys like the way it's heading in terms of changes and views?
Yeah.
So,
I think it's
okay.
doing well.
So yes, I do have to say yes. It's been going well. To be honest with you, last season, when you guys first started it, I didn't really pay attention to it outside of scheduling the videos. But since I'm participating in it this season, I've enjoyed it a lot more for what it is. So, and just how it's looking, I'd like it. So,
I always enjoy how much the teams lean into the crazy and they just don't take it too seriously, and that's, I think, what makes the TOP fun and different. Because the main league gets taken very serious, right? Like, there's
Yes.
a lot really nuanced builds and planning and the systems that you got to work around. There's a lot there. But the TOP people create teams like Cannon Fodder, where they have no intention of making the strongest team. It's just let's showcase these really weak and low tier characters.
They
Because why
still,
not?
they did a lot better.
They got 2 wins, 50% win rate in the preliminaries. That's amazing. I love them for doing that. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you got stuff like that. You got the Fault in our builds, which I think is a hilarious name, and the way the graphics team plays around those crazy ideas is just amazing.
Yep. I mean, for it in so many ways, like it has been a success because behind the scenes, the TOP can do a lot more crazy stuff than what we can. And if they come out in October, November, say, hey, here's some stuff we'd like to test. They can do that at a much quicker pace than we can, because it's like, oh, it's just TOP, it's just 8 weeks, and if it really is weird, it's one season, and like there's already within last season, the first time it was run, there was a lot of bumps and bruises, and this time it definitely seems to have improved, and a lot more of the ideas are polished. And in terms of views, there's really not much we can do to control that. Like, behind the scenes, we are trying new stuff to get more views and trying different ideas, but at the end of the day, the best way to help us do that is to game the algorithm by subscribe, and commenting, and that's not up to us. Like, we can only do so much on that side.
Yeah, we're gonna have to react to what you guys enjoy and how you guys what's the word here? Engage with the content, right? So the more you guys engage with it, the more we can do it, and the more we see that you guys want it. So,
When he mentions views, is it just more so in terms of YouTube, or just like you got like the perspective? You got it. I guess it was nothing.
I understood it as more of the YouTube views.
In terms of that, I guess in stream wise, I don't know how it's been alright, but I don't know if it's been as good as like main league.
oh, it's not going to be unless we really hit a gold mine there. It's never gonna get the same sort of popularity.
Like my hope is that it does like get better, because I know at least last season, and it couldn't. I'm not putting it on TOP because it could be for other reasons, because we are also inactive for a little bit. But I don't know if it's more so it helps us in some ways, but maybe it may hurt in different ways, because not many people are as engaged with TOP as they are with the main league. So it feels like when the main league does start, sometimes it feels like we may start over. At least that's how it felt last season to an extent with our viewership. That's my perspective on it. Like, it's still great and everything. I like the creativity and everything, and it gives newer people to like get involved and such. It's just, I guess, when I'm looking at it from the YouTube side, at least that's what it felt like when I was looking at the
To be
our
fair,
statistics and everything.
so it's less a question of like TOP versus the main league. It's more the question of, because the TOP is only in the off season for 2 months. Is the TOP worth being there versus some random events that we throw in instead?
Yeah.
I mean,
Probably.
yeah, it is better, I think, because it's a nice, consistent pace of content.
Yeah. I think the sort of like drop we had from our very first season is just a bit of like, okay, we're not going to hit the same peak from being like this big announcement and where people are like jumping over from the old league. We're gonna have to build our own community from our own foundation that we have at this point, right? So
Yeah.
we're gonna see a little bit of a dip when there's this off season that's not the main content, and we're gonna have to build it back up when the main season starts. but that usually happens. And that's really just, there's a lot more that goes into it than is the content. We also have to market it properly, which is a whole other thing.
Also, from the other side of things, I think, you know, we had a easier time, I think, this season getting enough volunteers to have the teams, so like the participation part of it's been great. You know, it's one of those things. I think it's getting even more focused from the community itself.
Yeah.
Is looking at it more than they did last season. So
And one of the things I'd like to do regarding that in specific, though, is see if we can get more YouTube viewers to jump in for the TOP specifically. It's really a lot easier to get into the TOP than anything else, and if we can make it even more approachable as a first involvement with the league,
Oh yeah,
I think that's the way forward with that. Because jumping into the main league is a whole other beast.
it really is, and I mean TOP, like the even for the main league, the bar isn't too high. Like there's a lot enough. While we are trying to lower that bar from where it is, because there's still a lot of knowledge that we take for granted about things. A lot of that stuff is a lot easier to communicate through the TOP than it is for the main league, because, you know, again, with the main league, we just tend to assume a lot of things, and the TOP removes a lot of those assumptions.
Mhm.
So,
I think the biggest benefit to it is it's 8 months. You don't have to dedicate a whole year to it.
Yep.
And then you don't have to stick around after your first time at the TOP. You can just say, okay, that was fun, and leave.
Right. Yep. And I mean, it's a great way, like, to participate, get to know people. You know, it's been fun to watch. I'm hopeful that next year I'll get to participate in it and do that myself, because the last couple years I just haven't been able to. So.
All right, I think that's the end of all the questions.
Yep.
Yeah, does anybody have any final words before we cap this off?
Not in particular, I guess.
Go ahead, Tish.
Just I'm chilling. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and all that, especially TikTok, to help us grow that community over there and all that. And feel free to give us your ideas on what you would like to see in terms of shorts and everything. We've probably heard it a lot in the streams, but I cannot reiterate that enough, because we are trying to build a community, especially on different platforms. So if you guys can help us kickstart that and everything, and help us continue to grow by engaging and showing it to your friends and everything, it'll be appreciative, because we are putting in a lot of work for this. This is basically volunteer to an extent.
Yeah, the league is a massive community effort. It's by no means run by just the staff. There is a team for testers, a team for graphics, a team for stat gatherers, and there's separate commentator. The TOP has their own staff. There is a whole bunch that goes into this. So the more people we have that are watching, the more people that want to participate, the more we can do, and the better we can make this, and hopefully continue it going forward.
So yeah, please, it's all in the description and everything like that. It's on our YouTube channel, whatever. I'm done shilling, but it'll be much appreciative, and for what you guys have done to get us this far, we appreciate it, because we're only 34 subscribers away now from 1K.
1,000.
So hopefully we can maybe hit that before, you know, the main league like officially starts, but who knows? We'll just continue growing.
Do it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna add on to that. The testers are awesome. Join the Discord, like and subscribe. You know, we'd love to have more people active. You know, if you've always wanted to get involved, now's the best time, as teams are getting ready to ramp up for the main season in just a few weeks now.
Or if you just want people to talk to about it, or to watch the streams.
Yep.
They do watch parties every week in the Discord, even for testing. So
Also, it's not just
for fun.
Also, just not DBZ League. We also have what is Super Smash Brothers League, and we have Mugen. here too. So
Yep.
Yeah.
we got a bunch of stuff. So
Also, everyone here is just a big anime and gaming nerd, so you can
Yeah.
find a bunch of people. With
geeks,
Mhm.
nerds, all in between. Yeah, you won't feel out of place.
All right, well, that's the end of the Dragon Cast. So we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
See y'all around.
Bye.